Hello, everyone, and Mr. Zilal. We are from Group 3, and my name is Yuniar Ayu Anini. We are going to explain translation editing supplement and TPE. So, first one, what is revising parameters in translation editing? It's not just about spotting mistakes. It's about making sure the message is clear, accurate, and appropriate for the target audience. While many things can go wrong in translation, using a simplified set of revision parameters can help make the process more structured and efficient, like the quality, the clarity, and the accuracy of the translation in a focused and systematic way. So, to identify and categorize common translation issue, we have effective revision from Group A about problem of meaning transfer. This is usually focus how well the intended meaning of the short text is perceived in the translation. So accuracy ensure the translation correctly reflect the exact meaning of the short text. For example, he runs the company. So the accurate translation is dia memimpin perusahaan itu. While the incorrect translation is dia menjalankan perusahaan itu dengan cepat. This is wrongly focused on physical speed. Next, for the completeness, to check whether all part of the original message have been included in the translation. For example, she opened the window and look outside at the storm. The incomplete translation, dia membuka jendela. This is omits the action of looking at the storms. Okay, next for the group B, focus on problem of context. This group focus on how well the contents make sense and whether the information is factually corrected. First, first one is logic to avoid contradiction, confusion, or nonsense. For example, the product is both very cheap and the most expensive in the market. This is illogical. And for the fact, to avoid errors in facts, numbers, and concepts. For example, Jakarta is capital of Malaysia. This is wrong. The correct one is Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia. Okay, next is a group C focus on language and style. Usually, check how well the translation sounds in the target language. For the smoothness, is it easy to read? For the tailoring, is it the language suitable for the readers? And sub language, does it match the style and terms of the topic? And idioms are the perhaps natural and the culturally correct. And last one for the mechanics are grammar, spelling, and punctuation correct. This group has a goal to make the translation clear, natural, and correct in the target language. Okay, next is the last one, the group D, about problems relate to the visual rather than verbal aspect of the text. First one, the layout, the spacing and the margins neat. The typography or font style and size consistent. And the last one, the organization, is the document well structured. This group has a goal to make the document look clean and professional. Okay, next for the accuracy means the translation correctly conveys the intended message of the source text, not just only word, but the full meaning and structures. First one, focus to avoid measures mistranslation that could mislead the readers. And for the content matters, some texts require high accuracy, and for the over-focusing, balance is a key between the accuracy and style, like smoothness, tailoring, idiom. And the common problems for the accuracy, misunderstanding the source, unclear wording, incorrect numbers, and necessary cultural or political adjustment. Okay, next for the completeness means the translating all of the intended message, no addition and no omission. Most error in this completeness is unintentional omission or accidental addition. And for focus on the core message, not repeating or poor writing. For the over focusing, some details can be left out if they are irrelevant too emotional or if speech is limited. And common problems for the completeness is overlooking hidden text and over editing for style. Okay, next for logic. The logic have two main problems. First one, the short take is illogical and the translator failed to fix or clarify it. And what should we should be careful about logic? Contradiction in fact, redundance, misuse connectors, and misplaced modifiers. Okay, next facts. Common facts. Common error in fact is the original source text, mistake introduced by the translator. And for fact subject matters expert, they affect the credibility of the translator or author. For example, confusing common law legal system with ordinary court in translation change the meaning. Okay, fact have a goal to ensure the translation is factually accurate, especially in field where precision matters, like law, science, data, and so on. Next is smoothness. It means a translation read naturally and clearly on the first try. The common problems in smoothness is awkward sentence structure, poor connection between ideas, and natural word order copied from the source. What should we be careful about? Avoiding overuse of such language term, unless not required by the genre. Watch out for raw translation when using past text from the previous translation. This goal to make the translation easy and pleasant to read with smooth flow from the start to finish. Okay, next will be explained by my partner, Wafa.
Alright, I'm Wolf Andini. I will continue for the next section. Tailoring. Tailoring is the process of adjusting the translation to suit the profile of the reader and the intended use of the translation text. In this process, what matters is not how similar the style of the translation is to the source text, but how appropriate the style and language in the translated text is for the readers to use in their context. For the first, use appropriate level of formality and technicality. The second, avoid technical term if the audience is general. The third, note the different purpose of the source and target text. And the last, adjust the style for narrow, expert, or broad general public. Next, sublanguage. Sublanguage, this include vocabulary, sentence structure or syntax, as well as a distinctive rhetorical style depending on the field. Example, medical, legal, journalistic, and also academic. So, language adjustment to text type and audience. First, ensure terminology is appropriate to the field and target readers. The second, use terms commonly used by native speakers. The third, avoid using technical terms that can mislead a reader. And the last, not all text need authentic phrasing. Next, idiom. Idiomatic uh, refer to word combination. In the translation process, it's important to avoid word for word translation that although grammatically correct, sounds awkward or unusual to the native readers. Idiomaticity in translation. There are unidiomatic expression can interfere with understanding. Check idiom using a dictionary or online search. The third, note the frequency of sentence structure in the target language. And the last, look for uncommon source language tendencies in the target language. Next, mechanic. The mechanic aspect include the technical correction and language standardization, such as spelling, grammar, um, punctuation, numeral, and also conformity to the style guide. Technical correction in translation, think to check first punctuation and number writing according to the text language. This is for the example. And then spelling, capitalization, and spacing according to target rules. The third, quotation format and currency symbols. And then use of parentheses must be grammatically logical and less conform to the house style or style guide if it's applicable. Next, layout. Layout is an important aspect of translation editing as it's directly affected the readability and perceived professionalism of the text. Therefore, the reviser needs to ensure the margin and space between sections are sufficient, paragraphs are laid out consistently, and bold lists are neatly organized and aligned. Checking the layout is especially crucial if the source text and translation are to be displayed side by side, as in a bilingual document. Inconsistent layout can reduce the reader trust in the content of the text. And next, typography. Typography plays an important role in supporting readability and conveying meaning in the translation. The use of elements such as bold, italic, capital, underlining, or color should be moderate and consistent. Reviser should also not automatic copy in the emphasis from the source text. Emphasis should be adjusted to make sense and remain natural in target sentence structure in addition. All visual elements such as heading and subheading should be checking for consistent in style, font size, and placement throughout the document. Next, organization. Organization or the overall organization or structure of the translated text is very important to that the reader can easily follow the flow of the contents, understand and the relationship between sections, and find the information needed without confusing. Organizing text structure and navigation. First, check accuracy of page references and title numbering. The second, synchronize table of the content with body text. Third, correction of double numbering only if authorized. And the last, check small element such as header, footer, and caption. So, for the conclusion, revision in translation is not only about correcting errors, but also about ensuring the overall quality, accuracy, and readability of the text. By understanding and applying revision parameters such as transfer of meaning, completeness, logic, facts, stylistic, sublisting, and organization, audience tailoring, sub-language, idiom, language mechanic, layout, and also typography, revisers are able to produce translations that are not only linguistically correct, but also appropriate to the content, genre, and need of the reader. Each parameters play an important role from ensuring the original message is still conveyed to making the visual appearance of the document look professional. So, that's all for our presentation on revision parameters in translation editing based on Model 11. Thank you for time and attention.